I want to talk to you about Portamento and Glide on the Yamaha CS-15. Now, you may have heard Portamento called Glide on a variety of other synthesizers, but Glide is something different. In the 70s, a number of synth companies used the concept of Glide as a different thing than Portamento. Now, granted, with Portamento, it sounds to glide from one to the other, but here on the CS-15, Glide is an artificial manipulation of pitch, whereas Portamento is the decreasing suddenness of change in frequency as you change from key to key. I'm going to demonstrate this for you. As you were just listening, I want you to confirm that you heard neither Glide nor Portamento, but what you did hear was a really, really cool sound made only with oscillators, no filters. That's what I'm talking about with the CS-15. Listen to how cool that sound is, and we're not even using a filter or an envelope or anything, just oscillators. All I've done basically, I have two different oscillators. Oh, let's do this. Oh no, that's already done up there. One of the oscillators has pulse width modulation. The other oscillator is slightly detuned from the first oscillator, and the settings of them resulted in this incredibly cool sound. Yes, you could do that with other synthesizers, but this synthesizer does it so gracefully. Okay, so let's talk about Portamento. Obviously, Portamento is very straightforward. Many synths have it. The CS-15 merely has this slider that allows you to decide the amount. So probably not the best timbre to be using for this, but it sounds so cool. Okay, let's just use oscillator 1. That's about halfway up. And we can keep going up. It's not the longest Portamento I've ever heard, but it certainly goes from the usable solo sort of Portamento to the cool sweepy sort of Portamento. So that's Portamento, and that would be the end, except for we also have the glide function. What the glide does is it applies a very simple attack envelope to the pitch of an oscillator that occurs every time you press a note. This is not a common function. In fact, I don't know that I've ever seen it laid out like this on really anything. Someone's looking for it. But no, this is very, very interesting and strange, and it's a cool effect, and it's cool that they thought it was cool enough to put it on here. So let's listen to it. What are we talking about here? Okay. I'm going to put this pitch up a little bit. So we have VCO1 depth. It's currently set to 0. Let's turn it towards the positive side. What happens? So you hear it start at a higher pitch and then move down to the appropriate pitch. And you can actually do this for quite a bit. So it's like kind of a Portamento effect, as if you had pressed a higher note earlier, and now you're pressing the second note. And we can have it come up from the bottom as well. So if you want to create, you know, a sort of implied slide in your playing, you can use this. And of course, in addition to the amount, we also have the time. That is a pretty cool effect. Because it adds this little attack transient, a pitch transient to the beginning. It gives it this sort of extra punch, this kind of cool punchy sound. I really like it on a short setting. You can get it short enough that you can't really tell that that's what is causing it. It just causes this little punch at the beginning. And of course, you could do it quite long. Oh, that really took quite a while. Let's listen to that without pulse width modulation. It's a very useful thing. If you have a complex evolving sound, that could be really, really cool. But let's keep in mind that we've just been using one oscillator, and this has this effect for both oscillators, and they can be set independently. So right now I have VCO1 set so that the glide is scooping up from below, and VCO2 is set so the glide is scooping down from above. Again, if you have a very short time, it just gives this really big punch at the beginning. And then if you start giving it a longer time, let's do it without any detuning. It's making its own detuning. That's cute. But yeah, so let's hear it with a little less depth. The depth is kind of a timing as well. This is a sound that you heard a lot in more modern, like 80s sounds that allowed you to apply an envelope to the pitch of the oscillators. You could get these sorts of sounds. But on this, you have two envelopes that you do not need to apply to get this effect, which is really cool. So then you can use your two envelopes for whatever else you intend to use your two envelopes for. This is just like an attack pitch envelope you can apply independently to each oscillator, and you can control the attack time for the change in the pitch. It's a really, really cool sound. And again, does not lend a thinness at all. It gives it really a big punch. So let's do something really obnoxious, like. Having the two different means of setting both the depth and the time, and the depth is kind of the time as well, allows you to come up with a lot. There's a lot of complexity of this effect that you can generate. And also having your oscillator set to different frequencies makes it quite different for each setting as well. So yeah, the glide function is really, really cool and a great thing to have. We'll hear it employed within a more complex sound later.